If I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't tell all that the Lord has done for me. So I'll keep on singing praise. Waiting for the sunshine. Waiting for the sunshine. Ooh, waiting for the sunshine. Waiting for the sunshine. Ooh, waiting for the sunshine. Waiting for the sunshine.
Welcome to the Room 412 podcast, where we talk about real life issues, but through a Christian's perspective. My name is AJ Hawkins, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Kiara.
What's up?
John.
Gang.
Samantha. Rissa. And Chris. And you are now tuning into our MarriageCast. We have, pretty much, we have different series that we're doing. I know you guys seen our ladies' night. We have our MarriageCast, and we also are going to have our fellas' night. So you're tuning into our MarriageCast.
I mean, is that the thing? We're really doing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been going.
You ask that every time.
Yeah, so pretty much, I know on our last episode of our MarriageCast, we were pretty much giving advice pretty much to, newlyweds and, having self-reflection on how, we did things from when we first got married till now. We've been in it for, some of us like 5 years, almost a decade and stuff like that. So giving advice from when we were, younger to now. So we were talking, before we entered the pod about giving advice to other married couples about pretty much a time where we went through hardship and how we got over it. We want to use this platform pretty much to help other married couples. So, yeah, that's the topic. So, I mean, if anybody wants to jump in, I don't want to be the first one. So if anybody else, I don't know how y'all want to, how y'all want to do it. If you want to just give advice or
Think of nobody.
I think you should be the first one.
I don't want to be the first.
And the reason I think that is because from part one, everybody else was the first one. So I think you should have
Yeah,
this
you
one.
literally just talked about how we put
I
you on the
did.
spot the other time, and
You
now you're
just,
doing
but
it
you
to
just
me.
put yourself on the spot.
No, I didn't. I said I
wanna be the
don't.
first. See, there you go.
Look at that.
No, I do think you
They're drawing
should.
fours on each other.
I think you should.
All right. Look at this. I know. Why taking my phone? Man.
I thought it was him.
That was mine.
So I got a question.
What's up?
What practical tools do you guys use to advance your marriage? Right? So we
Good save, John.
what is that?
Good save.
See, that's why that's my boy, man.
What practical tools do you guys use to advance your marriage, right? So, we have advice, from in the past, but like right now, we're living right now. We're married right now. So,
Yeah, this is an audio podcast too.
You're
You
right,
can't
you're
be
right. I
just
can't be
grunting on the mic.
so what practical tools do you guys use right now to advance your marriage? So, we have things that we go through versus whether it's financially. Clearly, we're all partnering with our spouses on a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Some of us with careers, that we're advancing in. What are some practical tools that you're using now?
I would say examples. We have a lot of examples in our church of couples that have been married over 20 years. And I think for me, it's inspiration, it's goals, and it also lets me know that no matter what happens, you can push through. Because I'm 100% sure their marriages aren't perfect. Nothing is perfect.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. So I feel like just by seeing the longevity that we have in front of us and the examples that they set to us, I think is definitely a tool that I use. And and not as far as like comparison and like, oh, I want to be like this married couple or anything like that, but more so just the positive examples they show us, like the love that they still show their spouse, you know, and that you can feel and that you can sense and that you can see. I think it's definitely like inspiration. And I think inspiration is a big thing because we all were inspired to become married in the first place.
Right,
We were
right.
inspired by someone, something, you know, to be married. So, yeah.
I have a question. I just have one question.
You don't want nobody else to
I
answer?
do, but you just made me think about something.
Okay.
You are going crazy.
Would you, I mean, you guys can answer both these questions. Would you, not advice, because we did that last time, but would you tell your younger self to get married at the time that you got married?
No.
No?
No. I think that
What?
No, I'm saying you asked 2 questions. That's a lot.
I did, but she made me think about that, an
Yeah.
example, and then I thought about, well, am I an example to myself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
if I
all
was
right.
19,
yeah, you got
would I
to
wanna be-
tie that up. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
So yes, to that same point, I feel like if I knew then what I know now, I would have waited to mature a little bit, and I don't necessarily. That's actually a good question because when I think about it, when we got married, it was maybe we should wait, you know, and it was the maturity thing, which is what I was about to say. But then my thing was, oh, we can mature together, we can grow together, which I still feel is true and valid. But I feel like I think I would have definitely enjoyed having more things in place before actually getting married. But there was also things that we didn't want to sacrifice. So getting married was the best way to go about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think for me with that is I don't know if I didn't get married when I got married, if we would have got married. We were at 2 totally different points in our life. Like she was ready and I was in college. And we broke up a lot of times while we were just dating because of that that difference. Like she was ready and she was like, yo, like I need stability. Like you're not giving me that yet. And I'm just over here like, well, I see the type of wife that you could be and I don't want to lose that because I don't think I could see that in anybody else. But I'm still out here. I'm still trying to be outside. Like, so it's just like, it was kind of like a meeting in the middle type thing. And then her too, it was like, yeah, I see a potential type thing too. So it was just like, dang, like if we would have just stayed like boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm not sure. Because like I said, a lot of times we broke up. So I think a lot of times also too, when it comes to marriage, seeing there's like no divorce in the Bible and all that stuff, it keeps a lot of people in their marriages together. So I think it kind of kept us together because we've been through our ups and downs too. So it's just like, but because we're married, it's like you stay together and work through that because you're married. That's the thing. It's like you're married, you got your issues, you work through them. When you just boyfriend and girlfriend, like you go through an issue, like, you know, I ain't dealing with you no more. Like I'm done. Like you feel me? There's no. So
could be done.
I'm not sure. So I think if I were to answer that question, I think I would get married when I got married, but I would go about things differently inside of the marriage, knowing what I know now. Yeah.
And what tools do you use now?
Tools. So the tools that I try to use, I'm trying to listen to her. Like, 'cause I know we talk. I know there's something called, love languages and all that stuff. Listening to how she wants to be loved and all that stuff, because I know oftentimes, I think it could happen with both of us, and I know it happens in marriages a lot. You kind of put how you like to be loved on somebody else. So, and sometimes you're not really listening to them. So, listening will be a tool. And communication, like communicating that too. So, yeah, those are the two things. I mean, the Bible is one.
It's
Yeah,
most
that's a tool.
important.
Most important.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because seeing how God describes marriage, seeing that, marriage is something that he created. So yeah.
You guys.
I know for me, I think we'll see which question I'm gonna answer first. I'll start with the very first one. The tools that I think we use the most is that we just make, and I think I probably mentioned this before, but it's just something that's always worked for us. Even with us just getting to know each other and dating and all of that, is just that open communication and trusting each other with trusting each other with that information, like allowing each other to be each other's diary in a sense, making sure that, again, like, we don't go to bed angry or anything like that. No matter what we feeling, we're going to talk about it because we're not going to bring it into the next day. I think that's very important. But I've also seen that, like Sam had mentioned, examples. My parents are my biggest inspiration with that. They've been together way over 30 years and been through so much. But seeing that, really did inspire me to, like, you know what, marriage is a thing that can work. There's examples out there that show that it can't, but I have in front of me two people that were dedicated to stick with it no matter what they went through. Buying their first house together young. Like, they got married when they were, I think my parents were 23, 24. And just had my sister to start, and they added 2 more kids to that. My mother lost her job, everything, all of that within having a new house and everything. But they stuck it out and they did it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there were times where they probably thought they couldn't communicate or anything, but they were so dedicated to sticking with it together. But more than importantly, God was the strength of the whole thing. And they made sure they kept him at the head of it too. So looking at that example helped with what I was looking for in a partner. And then us having that same common ground, and like, that's our main focus, is one, keeping God at the head of it, and then a main tool is just always communicating and trusting each other with that communication and that vulnerability, which I think I mentioned also, is that's just very important, I feel. And then what was the second question, child?
Would you get married at the same time?
I think I would, cause again, it's just the way we got together. We really took our time. We really took our time because it was important to us to really build a foundation. We didn't want to do anything outside of what God had for us, and I really felt as we were learning each other and dating and all of that, that was a main thing. Just building that foundation. We both have come from different relationship situations that damaged us, but it was so important to us to not bring any of that with us and to build a foundation of our own, and that takes time. Even though, like, I can't remember us having much conflict dating or anything, like, we were always good, but I think it's because we were both on the same playing field. We both knew from the beginning this is what we wanted. We both laid everything out and said that's what we want, and we just built from there, and we took our time. So when we got married, I think I would do it again. Yeah.
So, I just thought about something when she was talking, I guess, to add on to mine, about when we got married. So I did say that I would do it at the same time, and I still do feel like that. But I think one of the major things that, I guess, make our marriage not take a turn, but kind of like embodied our marriage or whatever, is the children. I think I would have spaced my kids out, because the thing about it is, I think a lot of the struggles that we went through ended up happening because it's like when we first got married, we had 2 kids pretty much. But if we would have spaced them out, I think it would have allowed us to actually learn each other better. Because once you start having kids, because we got 4 now, but once you start having kids, it starts to be all about them. And then, and then the bills, they're more bills and stuff like that. So your money starts getting shorter and all that stuff. And like I said, at the time, when we got married, I think both of us had part-time jobs, right? We both were working at Toys R Us. So yeah, like we weren't even really that established and stuff like that. And then we had kids. So then it's like we always had a little one. And with the support system we had, my parents and everything are great, but we ended up having to work like separate shifts and stuff like that. And that took a toll on our marriage and all that. So I think that's one thing that I would do. Like I said, I will get married at the same time, but I think I would have spaced my children out. So we had
More us time.
us time, yeah. Because I don't think marriage was the thing. Because people go through their stuff, but I think having so many little children and all that stuff reset, and I think that's the thing. And so yeah, but
Chris, you got something?
What was the question again?
Oh, no.
He went through some- But you did put 2 questions out
I'm
there.
about to
So
say.
You did.
I
Yeah.
could talk
So the
about
first
that.
question is,
Uh-huh.
what are the tools that you use present day to help you guys continue to advance your marriage?
Shutting up.
I like that.
So listening.
That's a big thing.
I need to shut
Because
up.
I like to talk.
I need to shut up.
And then when I be saying stuff, 75% of the time, maybe 80. I'll be wrong. And she be right. So, shut up,
Yeah.
listen. And then on top of that, it's not just for me, because sometimes I be wanting to respond to certain situations. But it just seems that the situation works itself out before I even go mess it up verbally.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So before I even say anything
It's already
or
fixed.
get crazy,
Yeah,
it's already done.
right.
And what was the second
Second
one?
one is, would you advise yourself to get married at the same time you got married before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because number one, these niggas is crazy out here today. And you do not want to be in this dating ring.
That's a fact.
Because
That's the
it's
truth.
different.
Scary.
Different,
It's real
different. So I got my little,
I got my little a short
I
thing.
got my little yeah. You know, and I'm good.
Got about the way.
Yeah, I'm out your way, doc. But yeah, that's it for me though.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll let you go, babe.
Well, for me,
Fire.
thank you.
So fire.
The first question, I would definitely say keeping God first,
Yeah.
because that has helped tremendously.
You all right?
Cracked.
Yo, hold up.
Oh, sorry,
In the
crack
I thought you broke your hands, bro.
I thought you broke.
And then
Making
communication.
beats.
Communication. And then just taking in perspective that we're not competing with each other. We are on the same team, and
I'm LeBron.
I
I'm
hear-
LeBron though. We're on the same team, but I'm.
You LeBron now, or you?
I mean, he's always the best player in every team he goes to. We're not doing that
Ain't
right
the best player now.
Okay, sorry.
So just know that we're not competing with each other, and listening to how he feels, and not always trying to combat with a response, but actually just listening and taking in, and so I could.
I can't stare at him.
So I can actually see how he feels versus then me just taking in and not actually listening and trying to get my point across.
In marriage, would you advise yourself to get married again? Same time.
I would say yes,
Mm.
because we were going to get married earlier,
True.
and we would not be married today
No.
if we were gotten married way earlier than what we wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, what we started to.
Yeah.
We were gonna elope, y'all. No cap. So we, but because we were both immature and a lot of other things that was going on that shall not, we don't have to bring those things up. We were just not ready. And then, we had a child 3 months into our relationship. So we didn't really have a him and I.
Right.
It's always been him, I, and our baby.
Right.
So we never had that. So we had to learn how to be parents on top of learning how to like each other, learning each other pretty much. So I would get married when we got married. I think it was a perfect time for us because it was smooth sailing.
Watch it.
Yeah, it was. Stop it! It was smooth sailing, and
Jermaine, you have something?
it was
And
good.
John didn't even go.
You got
It
something?
was good.
And Brown not here. You want her.
Yes, I would advise myself to get married again at that same time. I would probably just like AJ probably would have held off on Zoe. Zoe's 12 now. She would have been maybe 10.
Yeah.
That's that. Tool that I use today that's kind of just been consistent is, like Sam said, examples. Me and Key sit under my parents all the time. And when we were dating, my parents all the time, her parents all the time, constantly getting information and just seeking out, how did you do that? How did you combat this? You went through this. How did you work through that? So we're constantly just sitting literally at the feet of our parents, just like, hey, this is what we want to do. We're serious. How do we get from 5 years to 10 years to 15 to 20 to 30?
Yeah.
So, and then especially with my grandfather, seeing how he was really real instrumental in being an example of what a man is supposed to do and take care of his wife. So that's that.
That's good because
Yeah.
I don't ask. I never think about it.
What? That's what?
Like the examples, I look at them, but I don't never ask.
Oh yeah.
It's a no brainer to ask, but I never ask.
Cause you'd be really surprised what your parents have gone through. Some stuff they share with you, in pieces, cause you're too young. But you'd be really surprised about the things that your parents, specifically, have gone through.
Yeah.
To keep their marriage, to keep their relationship, to protect us. We all have kids here. We protect our kids from certain aspects of our marriage that when they get older they'll know. But if you talk to your parents now,
Yeah,
sure.
that's really good. Like how have you guys maintained? I never even think about that. I just get so wrapped up in, what we're going through. And then even like when we go through anything, for me, I guess it's always like frantic. Like, how do you make me talk to her again? Like,
yeah.
Or how can I get over this hurdle?
Right.
Just so
right.
I could get back to normal. But it's
Right.
never like when we're good. Like, so how do you guys maintain this? Like,
Right.
how y'all, like that's good. It's crazy that that's so simple. I just never think about it. It's just like when we're good, we're just good. I don't never think about maintaining it, like planning ahead of time to maintain it, make
Right.
sure that we keep going. It's just like,
Right.
yeah,
That's important.
yeah.
And it's okay to work through stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like it's okay
Yeah.
to work through stuff. Like I think a lot of times when young couples they go through a thing and it's like, okay, let's just end it here because it's not gonna work. No,
Yeah. Yep.
marriage wouldn't be marriage if you weren't challenged. I feel like you have to be challenged, and your marriage should stand the test of times. And it's okay to work through something. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. I mean, everybody has their own deal breakers.
Everybody makes mistakes.
With that too, but I'm just saying, like, everybody has their own like deal breakers and stuff, and then it's okay to have a deal breaker, but it's also okay to work through your marriage. It's not.
I got a question. Why do you guys think that is? I always see this on Facebook, and we're sitting here talking
full of
about
questions, man.
marriage. Why do you think it is that marriages aren't lasting as long as they were with our parents, our grandparents?
Because they're worrying about what's going on in the next marriage or worrying about what the world is doing.
I think it's
a generation.
I think it's a generation.
And then they're and then they're a microwave generation too. They're instant. They need something like that.
Right.
Yeah, they want retirement like this. They want this like
And I
that.
think everybody is going through a phase where don't nobody want to take accountability for nothing.
Right.
It's my horse is bigger than your horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my problems is going to be heard, and you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh. And my problem's going to be heard, and it's like instead of listening to respond,
Yeah.
they just respond. Like it's innate. Like you just do what you have to do and just say what you just blabbing at the mouth instead of actually listening to the person, because 9 times out of 10, the person is giving you their solution on how to fix it and what works for them. You need to listen to those words and then process it, And then, like, let's see what we can do to incorporate and compromise both. So you're getting what I need, you're giving what I need, and I'm
Right.
giving what you need.
Right.
And you can't do that if you don't want to take accountability, or if you're just ready to be play the blame game instead of just saying, you know what, I'm sorry. It's okay to be sorry.
Owning
It's
your
okay
part.
to be apologetic. It's okay, It's okay to show humility in your marriage. It's okay to be submissive.
Too prideful.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Everybody's
prideful.
just prideful. I'm not talking to him because whatever. And when he wants to talk to me, he's gonna talk to me.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I don't need a man. I could do it by myself. Type of.
It's
attitude.
okay. It's okay to
Yeah.
need help. It's okay. It's okay to need a
You
man.
said you
I
had a
mean,
lot.
Yeah.
You got a lot to say on this topic. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I'm not gonna say everything, but I think the number one is just the way the world is right now.
Yeah.
So social media one. I think we live in the selfish generation. It's all about what I could get, what I could accumulate.
Yeah.
Me. Kind of what you alluded to too. It's gender roles too. I think, like you just said, with women, oftentimes now it's just the I can do battle with myself type thing. I'm independent. I could do all this. Music, what we was talking about before. Musically, I think just the whole temperature of things was with love and marriage and all that stuff. Like, so what you're listening to also, it's more about me, what I could get. I'm gonna get this money. What you're seeing on TV, like you see a lot of broken homes on TV with the reality TV and all that stuff. Also, dang, what was that other one? I mean, you guys could jump in. I had another one, but I forgot what it was.
I think that a big thing of it is, you guys all kind of mentioned it, culture, right? And I've said this before, but back in the day, our parents had one phone number for our whole lives. They had one job for our whole lives.
Yeah.
Had one car for our whole lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One wife or husband.
one wife.
Well, you know what I'm saying? One wife or one
Yeah.
husband. They were conditioned to be long suffering. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, okay, my phone bill's due over here. The balance is too high for me. Cool, I'm gonna shut it off and go get a new phone number. This job doing what I like, or this job over here is offering me 25 cents more, $1 more, $10,000 more a year. I'm going over there. They don't want to wait. You know what I'm saying? To get this person over here. I had to argue with my girlfriend. This girl over here is showing me attention. I'm going over there. This generation is conditioned to continue to move, whereas back in the day,
Too many options.
there's too many. You get a new phone every year.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
I'm part of that.
Our parents had the flip phone. That's the only phone they had.
They had.
When they got the cell phone.
That
You know what I'm
Nokia?
saying? So I think that our grandparents, and obviously before them, and our parents, they were conditioned to. This is what I have. That's it.
Yeah.
Make do.
And I'm gonna make do
Yeah.
with what this is.
Yeah.
Whereas this generation, it's always a chase to get the new and
bag.
better thing. You know what I'm
The
saying?
bag.
And I think
Like,
that mindset has infiltrated into our relationships.
Like now, like with dating, like, do girls even get their heart broken anymore?
Right.
Because you don't really you don't really see that. It's like, oh well, we're done. Next. Like I know somebody who
Like the swipe and stuff like that.
yeah, like it's
the Tinder, too.
ridiculous. Like I mean, to each his own.
Condition.
Do what you
Oh, I
have
don't
to
like
do
you.
to
Bye.
get over. But all I'm saying is that how we did is like if we fell in love with somebody, we fell in love with them.
Hard.
And right, and then if we didn't end up with that person, we were heartbroken,
Devastated.
like not eating for 7 days, devastated. Like that's how we were. Young girls aren't like that nowadays. Like I seen a young couple, and they were dating like, oh, we wearing the same clothes, we wearing the same this, we was wearing the same that, and then next thing you know, they're not dating. And they can coexist in the same room. Where you do that at?
Yeah.
Like we
That's
weren't
new.
like that.
That's
Like we
new.
weren't like that. Like they were. Like they even sing in the same group sometimes. So it's just like, how do you coexist with each other and y'all was just so head over heels with each other, and now y'all not together. Like, is it real?
It was a
Yeah, but
real
you
Was
took-
it
begin with.
real?
You talking about women, but it's the same with men too.
No,
so it's
I'm talking about
that's what I'm
women
saying.
and men.
But yeah, but
it's-
like even like all right, so for a man, it's like before, like it's like even when I said with music and all that stuff, we wanted to give women our all. We wanted to make sure like they were treated nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a badge of honor. That's like yo, my woman is straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like and this is my woman. And that's it. I don't got all these women. This is my woman. Like you feel me. But now, if you do that, you a simp.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't do that. Like you
It's like they're
clowned.
training them
You
to
clowned
have
upon,
these
yeah.
multiple women, and
Yeah.
what? No.
Let me tell you, whippersnapper, something.
Let me tell y'all.
No. It's
Any
okay.
man could love 1,000 women. Mm-hmm. But a real man can love one woman 1,000 ways.
Woo!
Boy, talk to him, baby.
Yeah, whippersnappers, take that home.
That's
Write that
bars.
down.
That's bars
Say
right there.
whippersnappers again. Nah, but yeah, that's why I said it's the whole climate of the world now. It's just like, dang, I'm a simp. Like if
You love
if it's
your-
Valentine's Day at school and I bring my woman flowers, like, oh dang, he sprung, like she got him, he whipped. Like what?
Let me
Like,
tell. Let me
That is a gentleman.
let me
Yeah.
tell you something.
That is a gentleman.
I will not
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice anything
Yo, bring it home.
Right.
for her. I mean, not for her, like that in that
I will
way.
not sacrifice anything for her.
No, not in that way.
And giving her up.
And
Like,
giving her up,
losing
like
her.
And losing her.
Yeah,
because you got to think of it like this. Shut up. You got to think of it. I'm sorry, because I thought I was killing too real quick.
What? I was with you.
Hold on, I'm still killing. Hold on, let me.
Let you
Go
land.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Finish your thought.
So basically, I forgot.
Oh,
I remember it.
So you were
said
saying that
you
you're
wanna-
not gonna you would.
Oh
not
yeah,
sacrifice-
okay. I said I'm not going to sacrifice it because you mean to tell me, all right, for one moment, this girl, whatever, you want me to mess with her and then mess up what God said. Here, hold on to this, but just make sure you for rich or for poor, hold on to this.
Take care of it.
For better or for worse,
Right.
take care of this.
Yeah.
you gonna be risk that for you?
Yeah.
I'm snitching. Rissa, she trying to holler at me. I'm snitching all day.
But I
That's
think
it.
that's people don't take, if we're getting into that thing too, a lot of people don't take the seriousness of what
Right.
marriage is.
Yeah, because
The sanctity of
now what they're telling people
Right.
is
Like,
Right.
the root of it.
All the way
You guys
at the
are
head.
People are getting married for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
because the new thing is it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's the new
That's
trend.
crazy.
It's just a piece of paper. I said okay.
You got that-
Yeah,
you got the easy
until y'all
out.
start living together and y'all start not liking the same things and y'all start not agreeing on stuff and then you gotta try to compromise. That's marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage ain't when you on vacation.
Yeah.
Because anybody could do that
Right. And
with
in most
a
states,
girl.
if you're together for long enough, you're married by law.
Yeah.
Exactly.
like
I think so.
8 years
Exactly.
or something like that.
10.
It's 10.
10 years.
Oh, they up that thing. I think it was.
So
8.
if she
Common
just
law
did, I'm not about to sit here
Right.
and sacrifice what God gave me
Right.
for just a simple would be a simple moment.
Right.
And not even just a simple moment. I invested time.
And that too.
This person knows me. I don't have to be, I can be myself with this person. For a moment, you're pretending to be somebody that you're not. This person don't know you. They just want that moment.
Yeah.
And you have someone that you spent time and you invested in. They know you. They want to be with you. They love your flaws and all.
Yeah, her.
You know what I mean? You
she
know,
was
yeah.
digging me. She was on my steez hard.
Okay.
but, yeah, okay,
It doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, just for just for a moment,
Yeah.
please.
You
You're
said-
artificial.
You said
Oh, risk.
you had said
Mm-hmm.
people say something about it being a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And I was on Instagram and I saw somebody say in one post they were like they want to get married, so they were looking for their wife or whatever. Then like a couple posts later it was like, never mind, I don't want to be married, like just kidding. And then under the caption it was like, it's too much responsibility.
Wow.
And I think that again, social media. This is a person that people are looking at, a big influencer. Now you're promoting the fact that why get married? Why get married? Because it's too much responsibility. But that's not true. I mean, it is a lot of responsibility, but that's not a reason to deflect marriage.
Yeah.
Well,
In
in responsibility, it's accountability.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
if I'm married to real marriage, I can't just leave for anything.
Yeah.
Right.
If we have a disagreement,
You got to work that out.
yeah, you got to work that out. I can't go back to my apartment. You go to your apartment. I don't talk to you. No.
And you know they do that now. Like
Some
a lot of
people do.
celebrities.
That's
I
another-
just seen that. 2 celebrities we
Yep.
know.
I know you're about to say. Yep.
They live in their own separate place, but
they
they
married.
together.
They married.
They married. They together though.
I knew somebody like that in real
Yeah,
life.
people do that.
First of all, that's too much money
It is.
because you're paying rent somewhere or mortgage.
That's a lot of rent.
That's why you got different
A
rooms
lot
in the
of
house.
rent.
I'm not rolling with
Yeah.
that.
I'm not
Nah.
with that.
What I'm,
Space, just go in a different room.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
If you want to, well,
Especially if you're a celebrity, you got all them rooms. You can't make one
But
of
you
them
know
rooms
what?
your room.
To your point too, with the whole like you got to figure it out and all that stuff. It's like that's like the beauty of marriage, like
Yeah.
like knowing that you're always gonna have that person.
Right.
oh yeah.
If I mess
that's
up,
the
this
other
person
thing.
that I spent so
Like-
much time with that knows me in and out, it's like, yeah, I messed up. We're gonna work through this, but you still gonna be there. Like you're literally my best friend.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah, I ain't
beauty of
gotta
marriage.
look. I ain't gotta look behind
Beauty
my
of it.
back.
I'm like, dang, I gotta be with this one person. Like that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Too many
Absolutely.
people are focused on the wrong things
They're in it
in
for the
the,
wrong
in the marriage.
reasons.
Like along with that post, it said, "So I got to be home on time."
Why would
You're
you
not
wanna-
looking at the right reasons to be married.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have somebody waiting for you.
In regard to
Yeah, I'm
being
not saying-
home on time, there's a
Right.
compromise.
Your spouse might
You
be
know
out
what I'm
with
saying?
you.
have
Right.
that conversation with your spouse. Hey, like, I like to hang out with my friends. What's a reasonable time for me to be home? It's not like you're asking for permission. You're having that conversation because you guys need to come to a compromise. Like, listen,
It's respect.
I'm
But
okay.
it's out of respect, yeah.
I'm okay with this, but I'm not okay with that, and that's okay.
So, what do you guys think would be your top? Let's just say 3. Your top 3 benefits of marriage. Let's try not to copy each other's. But what are your
Sex.
I was about to say sex.
I got you.
I ain't want to cut the man off.
I
But
cut them off.
What's
Get my-
your 3? Because you said that you're right. A lot of people say, have all these different cons for marriage. I don't want to do that because it is taxes. You lose everything. Got to be home on time. Da da da. Well, let's talk about the benefits of things, right? I remember me and Key used to have our little arguments. My dad said, "Yo, y'all go downstairs. Y'all write down all the cons about your relationship, and then write about all the pros."
I thought you were gonna tell you, y'all go downstairs and fight.
No, y'all write about we did, but y'all write down all the cons and write down all the pros. And nobody to me is highlighting the pros and benefits of marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Right.
that's true.
Especially
Very true.
people that are married and people that have healthy marriages. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because sometimes I see a lot of this too. People that are married are advocating for not being married.
Right.
Right? It's kind
Yeah.
of like they resent being
Yeah.
married. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
So I just want to know what.
But that's the people social media would pick up
Right.
and put a blue check
Right,
next to their name.
right, and push
and
that
be
message.
like,
And push
oh
it,
yeah,
yeah.
you're popping. You're
They got-
popping.
they
Keep
got paid
talking
for
about
that.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Because you ain't talking about
Right.
nothing.
And there's an agenda against marriage too.
Yeah.
It
That's another
is.
topic.
For me,
or you could just not have the right person.
That's true too.
That's a,
A lot of
Right.
people just, I'm sorry to cut you off. A lot of people just rush in to get married for the sake of getting married or for the sake of, I don't want nobody else to have you.
yes.
And
True.
Or the
they'll
look- or the look of
That's
it.
true.
Right, yeah, and I'm.
Yes.
This is my husband. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. You can't have.
And a lot of
we're
people
married.
just want weddings, not marriages.
And
That's
exactly.
something else too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
And that's-
benefits.
That's
benefits.
A lot of
right.
people lazy.
I was gonna say for me, it's knowing that I have a lifelong partner. I wasn't meant to be alone.
Me either.
I don't like being alone. I don't like doing things alone. So knowing that I have somebody that I can count on and do things with, for me, is my benefit. I always have a person. So that's me.
I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of the same way.
You need that. You need companionship.
Yeah. Except for like when I'm fishing and stuff like that.
Well, you like your alone time. You have your little hobby.
Yeah,
have
but,
alone time in
yeah.
marriage.
But in marriage, people would say, I have to give that up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some people would say,
Right.
yo, I have
Yeah.
to give up my hobbies or the
Right.
things
Oh
that I
no,
like
but
to do.
now that you say
But
that,
that's where
when I
getting to
came
know
in
each other comes
Exactly.
in. You know what
because
I mean?
when I came in the game, I told her that.
Right.
I fish.
Right.
And this is what I love to do.
And that's what you need to do. Like being upfront
Be
with what
upfront.
you like and what you like to do and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And setting that ground at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
Stop catfishing,
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
and then you
Just
can
be
be able to
honest.
be
Sometimes
honest.
you just don't say everything because I remember one time she woke up and I was sitting on the couch, Indian style, eating a bowl of cereal, watching anime. And she was like,
Yeah, I would.
Why you so
No,
descriptive, though?
that's a side of you that she didn't know
She's
anything
never
about.
seen before. Yeah.
You want to know a side of him I ain't never seen before?
Don't
It
be-
was at their wedding when he was going sick on the dance floor. And
Whose
I'm
wedding?
like,
Oh, no,
my husband
really?
dances?
Yes, he dances.
Oh,
Yeah.
you must.
But like,
But
I
dances a
didn't
lot.
see that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that part.
Whose
And
wedding?
at Fafa's wedding. Y'all wedding.
The reception.
The reception, yeah.
It was
man.
lit.
It was lit.
Yes, like
You don't remember?
Yeah, you
He
don't
was
remember?
dancing all night.
I'm trying to remember AJ's
but still,
face.
not a bad thing. But
probably-
you know, like
Yeah, no.
Probably, yeah.
We danced.
But it's
Between him
okay.
and
It's
Jamel,
okay to share
danced all
those
night.
moments.
Yeah.
I'd be chilling. That's why. I'd be like,
I didn't know John was into reading the way
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Well, the way he still is. I didn't know that.
that was a dumb jock.
No, I just didn't think that he was into reading books.
Yeah.
And, you know, I did not think that at all.
You
But-
tease me sometimes. You call me a
Yeah,
dork.
because
Good.
let's
reading
be
your
more
books?
let's be more clear, because you'll take a book on an intimate
Okay,
vacation.
okay,
All right.
not that much of that.
Bring that back.
Back to, you know,
Bring that back.
my time.
The Lakers.
But I
know, right?
understand.
John Morant.
I understand that you need that time. I'm the same way. I need that time too. So, like you said, just be upfront
Yes.
about what you are and who you are. Don't lie.
While you're
We're not
dating.
saying uncover
Yeah.
everything.
That's
Like,
what
because
we
do you
think
have
about it.
some people who are like, okay, I'm looking to be married in 2 years, ready to have 7 kids.
Yeah,
I
and now
want to
you
have this
scaring-
amount
Can
of
you do that
money.
to me?
I want to be a
Right.
stay-at-home mom because I want a soft life and all of this stuff. So
Right.
can you give that to me? How much money
No.
do you make?
Right.
No, you're scaring them. No, we're not saying do that on the first gate. Like, no, you ease into it. You let them know what you have, your expectations are in a relationship, what you're looking for, what your future is looking like.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. If the person have the same thing that aligns with you, then you can have that.
That
And-
is important.
Right.
Very.
And if it's
Oh,
not,
that-
and
that
it's
alignment?
okay to say, you know what, I'm not the person cut out for kids. Maybe you and I are not going to work. Don't force anybody into being in a relationship
Yeah.
and having children with you when they don't want it. That creates conflict.
Right.
Yeah.
Or,
That's
or
why
as a husband,
the upfront thing is. I
It's
think it's
important.
important.
Right.
If
You
you
as a
said don't
husband,
do all
you-
that, I think it is important sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta let
It
people
is.
know.
You
You gotta
have
let
as a
people know.
husband, you might want kids, but you have a career woman.
Right. And she
You know what
don't
I'm saying?
want
That's a
children.
conversation
That was
has to
up
be-
front.
Exactly.
Said I don't want kids.
You want 7
You have
kids,
to
you gotta tell her you want
reevaluate.
7
Right.
kids.
You either gonna
Yeah.
compromise and not have kids, or you got to move on.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's
for sure.
okay.
Right.
If you don't want to work and you don't want to do
have to
nothing, you need to
align.
tell that man that you don't want to do nothing
Right.
before y'all get together.
You
Right.
have to align.
If it scares him off,
Well,
good.
that spills out, but that spills out in your conversations, in your dating
You need to say
conversations,
that.
Right.
because it'll say, I'm sure the question comes up, what do you like to do? What do you see? I mean, where you see yourself in the next 2 years, 5 years? Where do you want us to go? Like, what do you
Yeah.
expect from us? No girl's gonna say who wants that, who desires that is gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to work for the rest of my life. You know, she'll let you know. You want to know how she'll let you know? Can you get my nails done? That'll be the first thing that she wants you to take care of her.
These
Can
girls
you get my
these
nails
days.
done? Oh, I need some gas in my car. Buy me some food. You know, it's okay to be like, oh yeah, we're dating. You know, can you help me out or whatever? But when you're just solely like, let me
I
call
need this, I
him
need
because
this.
I
My
need
man, my
this, I
man,
need
my
this.
man.
Those are your signs. Like, you know what? Maybe she's not for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
You need to
she-
say it.
No, even if she don't say it, her actions will say. His actions will say.
Yeah.
So you don't have to just be out there like, blah, like in the front, because then you're not gonna get anybody. Because everybody's gonna be like, you're overwhelming me. So at least I say by the second or third date, we should understand we should have a mutual agreement or understanding between each other what our futures are looking like if we pursue with each other or if we not. Especially when you're dating. I ain't talking about no little kid stuff like,
Right.
oh, we boyfriend and girlfriend in 8th grade. You first of all, you need focus on them books.
Don't even get me started on
Need to be
learning.
But I'm just saying, like, you need to focus on books. We don't need to talk about how you want to get married and having kids. She don't even know how to wipe her tail.
That's all I talked about.
He don't even know how to brush his teeth.
I was talking about marriage in kindergarten.
No, see, that's the problem.
So she got a stink butt and he got a stink breath, and y'all
ain't gonna
together, it ain't gonna work.
And nobody will teach
It ain't
nobody
gonna
no
work.
hygiene.
Nah.
Yeah.
So now I'm
It's
just
gonna be a
kidding,
big
but,
green cloud.
You know, you shouldn't be focusing on those things when you're dating there. Like, you know, that's for fun.
Yeah.
It's for, you know, making new friends and stuff like that.
Even getting to know yourself.
Getting to know
for
yourself
sure.
and what you like
What you
in
like,
a woman
yeah.
or a boy. I mean, a woman, well, they're boys and girls
woman,
at
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
At that age. But, you know, and then as you get older, because you've dated, you will kind of know where you stand and what to go after.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
what type of people you want to attract and stuff like that. So then when that age comes, I feel like that's when you should be like, okay, you know what,
I got
third
a
date,
question.
I ain't really trying to do all of this. I don't want to do all of this and whatever. So
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like, you know, not creating an ultimatum like you going to choose me or
Yeah.
choose you this day. Like, we're not doing nothing like that. But, you know, it's okay to have an understanding of what you are looking for
sure.
in a person, you know?
Yeah.
So, I guess a little fun question since you said that about being very vocal about what you want. Do you think oftentimes in marriages people get those things like that they wanted in their head?
What do you mean?
Like, cause you said like a lot of times I think
To my standards.
yeah, like you got your standards. I mean, you can do the physical too, but like the
preferences.
standards, like your preferences and all that stuff. Do you think like everybody pretty much gets their preferences? Like,
I think that
Everybody.
I think they do. I think that you have to be realistic about
Right.
what your preferences are, right?
What preferences are, right? You said?
No,
what
your
yours are.
preferences
What your preferences
so,
are.
people typically, especially nowadays, preferences usually stay at physical attributes.
Yeah.
Number one, your physical attributes is gonna fade away at some
Sure.
point.
Gonna get old.
Yeah. So the truth is,
Light
the
don't
physical
crack.
attributes that you look for, or not the physical attributes, the preferences that you're looking for, you're still gonna get.
Yeah.
Because most people, that's what they say, most men want a wife that's like their mother, and the wife wants a husband that's like their father. Those characteristics, 9 times out of 10 are there, but we only hold it at physical attraction.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's not the case.
Yeah.
Kiara doesn't look like my mother, right? But
that'd be weird.
when I was looking for someone that was going to take care of my
Yeah.
children, take care of me, take care of our family, just the direction of our family as me. When I see how my mom partners with my father, I see how Kiara partners with me, and it's very important that she learned from my mother too. You know what I'm saying? Was willing to learn the same way my mother was willing to learn from my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So physical attributes don't really mean as much as they hold in just a regular conversation. But I think that everybody gets their preferences based off of what you're looking for outside of physical. To me,
I also think that you never know what you need until you have it.
that's true.
oh well, yeah, I guess
true.
it's a little
So
different need.
you
yeah.
don't
need versus preference.
yeah, like you don't you have a preference. You could, like, some people preferences are, I need a career woman, da 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 da. But then they get the opposite of that, and they didn't know that this was the person that they needed for them
Yeah.
because they had a preference. So I think that, you know, you can have a preference all you want, but it's ultimately about what you really need.
Side
So you
note,
think
side
you
note,
pretty much just get what you need instead of really what you want.
Side
like it
note.
just-
And I think that there's
Organically.
practicality too.
Yeah.
You think it just organically happens, like you end
Well,
up
because
just getting
you-
the person that
Yeah,
you
but
need.
it's also practicality. You could say, I see this all the time. Women say, "Oh my God, you like Shorty on Instagram, da da da," but I don't look like that. Okay, yeah, but there's things that are practical, right? And there's things that aren't practical, right? This, I don't want to say any names, but if I A Lamborghini. No, man.
You should date.
A Lamborghini is a beautiful car. It's for the showroom, right?
Right,
Just like
right.
Instagram models are for the showroom of Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not driving a Lamborghini around
Right.
my city.
Right.
Not
It,
New
it
Haven.
don't it don't make
Not New
sense
Haven,
to. You
child.
get what I'm saying? That it's not practical. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times, especially because we live in a social media image driven world,
Yeah.
we have these expectations of things that's not practical. You get what I'm saying? A girl that take 1,000 selfies a day ain't gonna take care of your kids, bro.
No,
She not.
She taking selfies.
Yeah, she ain't
I
she not
think
gonna.
to that point of do they get what they want? I think it's like I said, for me and Aunt, we had to. I felt like we matured together. We grew to know each other like together, and I think ultimately, if you just stick it out, I can show him what I need and what I want, right? And he can give me what I need and what I want based off of that. And it's not just like we didn't go into dating and I'm like, well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, so he's not the one for me. It was like, I know that there's potential that he can be this way and that way and vice versa. So I think with learning each other and growing together, there's
Right.
opportunity to mold each other in a sense. Not like I'm gonna make you this way and you make me that way, but just like, what's the word you just used? You just said it. Like a natural type of
Organic?
yeah, or an organic development in your relationship with this is who I need.
See, I feel like you only know what you needed because you've dated preferences.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. For
And so you only can tell what you need because of what your experience was.
Which you lacked.
Right.
What that relationships lacked.
Right. So you can say, okay, this is what I need in him. I found that in him. So I can see myself with him futuristically because he had the things I needed. You know?
But I don't think every box is checked.
No, it
No, I
don't
think
have
every
to
box is
be
checked,
checked.
But I think that
But
dating.
some people think that every box has to be checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
That's
do,
it,
and they
that
do.
same
And
that
that's
Oh,
same
why-
the
kind of
preference box.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
No, but
You're
I think
right.
that dating or I'm gonna say dating, but I think that marrying for potential is dangerous.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You just said that, and I don't like the marrying for potential because potential is not always actualized, right?
No.
So,
Go ahead.
I think that it's important to, like you said, organically grow together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a tree, like from the ground up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't like necessarily when people say, on both sides, you have men that try to mold, not young women, but mold women into whom they want or vice versa. I think that courtship is very important. And
Very.
through courtship, you're allowed to, like we said, openly communicate, to have a great relationship, right? And create those moments to grow together. To Sam's point, I think a lot of times too, which I think would be interesting to see what dating and courtship would look like from a faith standpoint, because a lot of times we date and marry on the opposite side of trauma, right?
Yeah.
So we go through these certain things, and then whether consciously or unconsciously, we hold those things against our partner. You get what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
And then in those moments, I'm not talking about Sam. I'm just that got my mind going. In those moments of my trauma, and now I'm dating you. Well, now I need you to be this type of person because of the trauma that I went through on the other side, and then don't even get into something that may or may not have been outside the will of God, right? So like premarital sex, having children. Now that's a whole different thing that you're adding and you're putting on this partner that doesn't necessarily fit into the perfect standard of a relationship. You get what I'm saying? From a faith standpoint. I think we have these societal things that we have that we just kind of agree to roll with because that's the way society is, when God ultimately set up the way relationships are supposed to be so that they can be as without conflict as possible.
So you don't.
Uh-oh.
So you don't think that you learn from your trauma or your mistakes or the trials and tribulations that you've experienced in the previous relationships. You don't think you can gain what you need in a person, and that's one part. And then second is you don't think that. I'm not saying marry the person because you see potential. I'm talking about being in a relationship with the person because you see their potential. You can date this person because he has potential to be X, Y, and Z.
I'm talking potential. I'm talking about not external potential. Potential. I'm talking about potential to you. Right. So if you say, "Yo, I'm gonna date him," say we have a child out of wedlock, right?
We did.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
You dating me for the father that I could be, right? I feel like that's wrong because we've introduced something that throws everything off.
Well, I wouldn't know what kind of father you could be because you've never been a dad.
So what about because I had a potential question too. So like with the potential, so like obviously we don't know who's gonna be what in the future. There's a foundation of who you are, like foundationally. Let's say, I saw her. I didn't know what type of mother, what type of well, I know what type of mother she is, but what type of wife she was going to be. But I know foundationally, she's a woman of God. She's a hard worker. She makes things happen and all that stuff. So I don't know what she's going to be as a wife yet, but I see those things. And then I see, like, let's just say with me, for instance, so if she sees a foundation in me, those pretty much the same things. But then also, like, I'm in school and I'm working towards a goal. And, like, if you see me working hard towards that goal. So, like, that right there, I don't know what type of husband, what type of wife you will be, but I see the potential through the fruits of, through, like, what you're doing, like, through what I see. So what about in that way? Like foundationally, I know who you are as a person now. I see the goals that you're working towards, and I see your work ethic and everything like that. So because of that, 1 + 1 should equal 2.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think
that type
Yeah,
of potential.
You can see potential in the person based upon their morals, their upbringing. So if I wouldn't have saw potential in you, being a good dad if you didn't have a good dad to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like your dad, you have a great father. I'm trying to make it make sense. Your dad is a great dad to you. And because your dad was a great dad to you, I can kind of understand on how you would be to your children.
Right.
But that's not why I want to give you a baby. You understand what I'm saying? Just because I know that you have the potential to be a good dad, I'm not going to get pregnant by you and say, hey, let's just... Because a potential is just a hope, wish, and a prayer.
Yeah, but you're not understanding my point.
Well, I am. But I also said that I didn't know that you were going to be a good dad. Just because you also have a good father doesn't always necessarily mean that you will be a good dad. You know what I'm saying?
But you were dating him, and you also seen things in him.
Right.
Him
that's
personally,
what I'm...
foundationally.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't get pregnant with Zoe knowing that you were going to be a good father. I didn't know what would happen. I didn't even expect Zoe. So that statement is true. But you can have children with someone or you can think.
I think that one. I think that.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I think that
what you
1
mean.
+ 1 equals 2. I think
Right.
that as you have conversations through proper courtship, through proper dating, you
Right.
get to learn each other. That's what creates the foundation of your relationship to get married. I think that if you marry somebody or are dating somebody out of potential, what typically happens, as we see, is that the potential may or may not be actualized. Now you're upset. Now you're resentful. Now you get what I'm saying? Like we hear stories about this all the time where I thought I could change him. I thought I could.
Yeah, but
fix
I think
him.
that's
thought
that's what it is because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
you are dating off of potential for
Yeah,
a certain because you don't know what that person is going to be.
Right.
Like I think it's like blindly kind of what you're talking about. It's like you're not really showing me anything.
Explain to me how you're dating.
Because like what I lied, because I don't know what type of, we're not married.
You can
I
assume. You can assume that this person is going to be this way when they get
it's all
married.
projection.
It's
You're
like doing
predicting,
your specs. It's like checking out a person
Kinda.
before
Take out lying and catfishing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We're going on dates. We're communicating, like we just said before. We're
Right.
communicating
Right.
all our different. There's nothing to guess. There's no potential. If you tell me, yo, I want to have children, okay, you want to be a mother. If you tell me I want to be a career woman, I don't have to guess and assume or potential. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm saying like as far as like, cause like all right, like if you had no kids, I didn't have any kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
She don't know what type of father you're gonna be. She has to assume like that you're gonna be a good dad.
right?
That's what I'm saying. But I know like with the potential, like with you is like it's like all right, if I
But what I'm saying is, what
had
happens
sex with
is,
somebody, we had a kid, we don't really have that good of a relationship, but like I see one thing in you. I just potentially you might be a good wife. I believe in you, so we're just gonna get married. I don't really know.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what happens. That's why I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't believe in it, but I don't rock with dating for potential.
Yeah,
I
like,
think that
not really knowing.
Yeah,
who-
because what happens
you are.
is I think you'll be a good father,
Oh.
so I'm gonna give you a baby.
Or like if we're in a relationship and you've been abusive, but like I'm just gonna stay
Yeah, that-
with you
So you
because
can't-
it's
potential word is just so-
potentially.
You can't expect potential after being with someone for a certain
I
amount of
think
time.
okay, so I think expectations and potential is two those.
No,
Oh, okay,
I
so then that's
understand
all
that.
right. So that's
But
where
I'm
we're
just
at.
saying, like, I'm not saying you have great potential of being something because we had one conversation. I'm saying you have potential to being something because we've been together and you have shown your potential in these areas. It's not just oh my gosh, he has great parents and they're married for a long
So
time.
he's definitely gonna.
He's
be
definitely
yeah.
gonna
The same-
he's definitely gonna marry me. He's definitely gonna be a great dad. It's not like
that's
that.
not
Like
100%.
potential's
own-
like guessing.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
not
think there's
guessing.
anything.
I mean, I guess I would have to look. I would have to
I'm
look
not-
up the
right.
Yeah.
definition of potential.
Because I'm not.
Because expectation is like because you did these things, I expect you to do this.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that potential,
And that's
there's
what
nothing
I was.
quantitative about
That's
potential.
what I was thinking about.
You know what I'm
Potential
saying?
was as. That's the
I
exact
don't
thing.
agree with what you're saying.
I don't know. I don't either. And I think
Nice
because personally,
Mm-hmm.
I saw the potential in my now husband. So I don't. So I don't agree with. I mean, that's your opinion, and
Yeah.
to each his own. But
Well, it's potential.
I'm
I'm
finished
sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I wasn't listening. I was.
because lost my thing.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, read it.
Having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future.
Right. So if you shown me that you can be a great husband to me, I'm gonna see the potential in you, and that's gonna drive me to fight for my relationship even more when we're going through our obstacles. Now, obviously, if it's something that I shouldn't be fighting, like nobody should take abuse. Like I'm not gonna say stay in a relationship with
You
somebody
got a
abusing
potential
you.
to stop abusing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna do that. But
Showing the
we've dated
capacity to
sometimes,
become or
and you
develop
show
into
and you
something.
show me that okay, this can work. He can be a great husband, or she can be a great wife. She has the qualities that I've seen that I'm looking for in a wife. He has the qualities that I'm looking for in a husband. We have potential of getting married and having a successful marriage
Yes.
through dating. That's what I mean by potential.
And
I'm not
that's what I
saying
mean.
married, getting being together off a wish and a prayer.
A whim. Like
no.
I think he got potential, so I'm gonna get married.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not saying that.
I saw that as my boyfriend, he would put me first.
Right.
He's there for my son. He's taking care of what we got going on. He has a potential to be a great husband.
Yeah.
I'm going to pursue this thing. That's what I meant by potential.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
You
I
could
thought.
also expect something to be wrong.
You said what?
You could expect something that could be wrong.
Well, that's dating.
That's an
That's what I'm saying.
expectation.
So like the potential is like
I just, I don't want to. Usually, potential. There's not something that's quantitative about it. It's a feeling, right? It's not something that you can say, yo, I can expect this is gonna happen, right? If I say, yo,
I don't agree with that.
I know what you're saying. 'Cause
use
like even like
potential and expectation,
like
interchange them.
like sports. Usually it's like this guy. Usually when they use potential, because I guess that's like
Because
what guys.
they're all related,
like
but I
this,
think they just go this
I
way.
expect you to be a good husband because you have good husband qualities. No.
It was like mine. So like it's
No.
usually like LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not LeBron, but just use his attributes, I guess. So if there's this guy in college, he averaged like 2 points a game, whatever, like that. But he's 7 feet. He runs like a 4.3. Like if he runs real fast, he's 7 feet, and he could dribble really good. He hasn't really done anything in college, but if I get him, I can mold him into being a great NBA player because he has that potential. So I'm drafting him off of potential. So that's probably why you do that. It's usually when you think about potential and like you think about something that's like I don't really see. Like I see a little bit, but I can mold that into that. I guess that's why like expectations is this dude been dropping 30 a game.
Right.
I expect him once he gets to the NBA, he's
Right.
gonna drop 30 a game.
Right.
So that's why
Has your
that's how it
teachers
usually
used
is.
potential with you
That's
a
how it
lot?
usually
Like
is.
John has the potential to be a great student. Like have they used that with
I mean,
you
I've
a
heard
lot?
that before, but that's not my reference
Did-
point. I'm
but
just
did-
saying.
but did you
they
have the-
usually use that as like
Right.
he-
Did
he
you
was
have the
bad, but he has
potential?
potential
Did
to
you
be
have
good.
the potential to be a great student?
I get it.
I mean, yeah, but potential. It's okay.
I get it.
It's not really like that big of a deal. But
It's not. I get what you're saying.
there's
but-
just a difference between potential and expectation. And I think that back to our topic, through proper courtship, you can draw the bridge between potential and expectation. Courtship and proper dating is what connects those two things for me.
Agree to
Yeah,
disagree.
I'm about to say we gotta get out of that because it was gonna go nowhere. Yeah. So do you want to touch on the first question I was asked? Give advice on how to get over an issue that you guys deal with in a marriage. Because we opened it up like that.
Yeah, if I would just go back to what I was saying, have someone that's been there.
Yeah.
That's really it.
And someone that's not biased.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true too.
Because you don't want somebody
Yeah.
to like try
Yeah.
to give you conversation. You don't want somebody.
Dang, you way far from that mic.
You don't want somebody to give you
Right.
advice,
Right.
and then it be hurt
one-sided.
advice.
Yeah.
Be hurt advice, yeah.
Advice.
And it's
And
not
it
for the
being
best
one-sided.
interest of your union.
I mean,
Yeah.
yep.
So
And that is
That's big.
and have that one trusted couple that you're okay with allowing into your marriage.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody needs to be in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But have that one trusted couple that you allow to be into your marriage that give you
Pour into
great sound advice, been through it, know how to work through it, and it's been successful between them two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's for you, because not everybody's for you.
Exactly.
Not everybody wants your relationship to succeed, so always be careful of who you trust with that information, because people will take it and turn it against you, and they're like, oh yeah, like people are weird like that, and I don't understand it, because wouldn't you want to see, like, it's another couple, wouldn't you want to see us do great, just like y'all doing great?
Yeah.
But some are just, they
Not
don't want
for
that.
it.
So definitely be careful. People making sure they're
Yeah.
for you, and they support your union too,
Yep.
for sure.
you got anything?
So I think what I would say is, you guys have to acknowledge pretty much that you guys acknowledge the goal and realize that you guys are on the same goal. You guys are on the same team. So that might mean that you have to acknowledge that one of you guys did wrong.
Right. Right.
Like,
And acknowledge when you're wrong.
Uh-oh, that's what it just said.
My bad. I'm having.
It's all right.
What's the name?
You got it.
But
You got it.
Acknowledge when you're wrong. And,
What they say.
yeah. Yeah, and pretty much work towards the same goal.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, and I think AJ gets this now, sometimes it's okay to take a moment, but not staying in that moment.
Yeah, for
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? But like maybe taking that moment so you don't say things that you will regret, and you're talking from a place of a clear mind and not off of emotion.
Oh, yeah, that's big. That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
So for me, I have to take that time. If I get, really worked up or something like that, I have to take that time. And then we'll come back and, talk about it till we fix it. But taking that time for me is how we get through. Learned how we've learned to get through our differences is like, so we're not going back and forth, and it's going nowhere.
Yeah, paying attention to your spouse, how they deal with certain situations and stuff like that. Because like she just said, she might need space. Me, I get nervous. I gotta get it over with. And she needs space, so it's just like
That's where you gotta learn to shut up.
But even that too, like what you said, shut up. I talk a lot.
Because there's times Rissa would be saying stuff, bro, and I'd be like, nah.
Because he just want to argue, yo.
And
He
I'd
just
be
want to
like,
argue. But he's not listening.
you want something to drink?
But yeah, we've been talking for a while. I mean, I know we didn't cover our main topic, but I think we did have a pretty good podcast.
Yeah.
We touched a lot of things.
We
touched a lot of things. So I'd like to, thank you guys for tuning in to our marriage cast, and tune in for more episodes to come in the future. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.